get to join me in a tune called I Am Awakening, because the I Am within you is awakening every day and every moment, realizing that we have direct connection with the divine. I am awakening, I am awakening, I am awakening to life. Yes, I am now. I am awakening, I am awakening, I am awakening to life. One life in which to make a difference. One day where I can make my start. One to share with all the planet. One chance to follow my heart. Why is that? Because I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. Yes, I am now. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. One heart to love without condition. One mind to clearly make my choice. One soul connecting with all others. One sound, one people, one voice. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. Yes, I am now. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. Every morning when I look out my window, the sun is shining over my day. Even though I may not see it, it's still shining on in every way. Key change, because I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life.
Now. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Lanna Cairns, and I'm the Community Spiritual Director here at the Wasatch Spiritual Center. So I welcome everybody today to this beautiful time together, beautiful time to remember who we are, beautiful community, insightful teachings, and I'm just always grateful for being in this beautiful space. So I'm grateful for this moment, grateful for wonderful Cindy and her wife Donna to give Diksha this morning. I am burning up alive, so I could be in my aerobic outfit right now and I think I'd still be on fire. So thank you for that beautiful, beautiful experience. That was just lovely. So our philosophy, our teachings, our faith is called religious science, and it's been around for about 100 years. Our teachings are called the science of mind. And the philosophy, we're kind of a head tripper faith, but our philosophy is called metaphysics, which means what is the reality behind what we experience, that there's more to this experience than what we see outside of ourselves. So we believe that there's one power, one presence, one force, one connection, one vibration, and it exists within everyone, everywhere, all the time. It always has been, and it always will. And this impetus of spirit, we believe, is one of compassion, is one of love, is one of exuberant creativity, is one of incredible abundance, and this is expressing itself through all life. So we come here on these Sundays to remember that, to reflect upon that. I had a wonderful Buddhist teacher once, Jack Cornfield, who said how we solidify our spiritual practices in community is in Sangha. So we come here to connect, to reflect upon that, and just to pause with what is happening in our lives. Our lovely Carol Harris here has blessed every seat. So there's a vibration, there's a rising of a vibration. We have a prayer box in the back that us ecclesiastical people pray on. And we just don't pray on it for the day or the week, but I feel your energy all the time. So we just rise the vibration here, we raise it up into the greater truth of who we are. So this Sacred Sunday celebration is to do just that. So I welcome you here today, and a beautiful day. Yesterday was fall day, pumpkin day, today's sunny day. So that's so lovely. So I just would like to look at our mission and vision, just to remind ourselves of who we are. And if we can say that together, if you feel comfortable. Our mission is to create an expansive community of love, of healing, and connection through compassionate spirituality to better ourselves and to serve the world. And our vision is to awaken and empower the sacred self within all to uplift humanity. So I encourage you during your week, when you're in your meditation and your prayer, just to hold on to that vision. And this past week, I wanted to share with you something. I have a wonderful spiritual coach, if you will, and I made copies of this, and I gave this out yesterday. And it's a beautiful passage from Psalm 46:5. It's a declaration of divine security, emphasizing that God's presence of his people, of their understanding of he, she, we, will not fail, and to help us always be in this moment of forgiveness and love. So this is what we're doing here at our center. So it emphasizes the presence and the protection of God, knowing that as we operate through love and wisdom, we just get more of all of that in our lives. We not only practice the law of attraction, but the law of unity, that there's just one expressing as the one. And this verse reads, God is within her, meaning her, the community, that they will not fail, that God will help one and them all break of day. And it is sometimes rendered as God is in the midst of that body. Thou shalt not be moved. God will help when the morning dawns. So it's a beautiful expression. So I made copies of this that you're more than welcome to take. So now I'd like to introduce a lovely person amongst our midst. Every Sunday we do something called a sacred share, where that means everybody has insight into these teachings. I'm not the only one. If I am, we're all in trouble. But everyone has had a full life of experience of wisdom. And so today I call upon Mary Liz, Mike's sister, to share with us her wisdom. Mike, that's your sister, to share with us how these teachings have affected and changed her life. So welcome to the podium, and just come on this side. Thank you.
Everyone. I had thought about doing a spiritual journey talk, and I wasn't sure how well it might be received. And then I saw Gary pull it off, and it's like, well, if he can do it. So here goes. My full name is Mary Liz Bowles Fleury. You know, you get married a couple times, you end up with a couple names. So Mike and I were very fortunate to be raised in a good middle-class family with music having to do a lot with it. I was going to say middle-class nuclear family. But anyway, we were raised in a Methodist church. It was put on your Sunday best every week, and blessings on dinner and goodnight prayers. And from a pretty early age, I got a lot of comfort and peace of mind praying, you know, just feeling connected and loved and listened to. So that, of course, I was in the children's choir for several years. My favorite memory of that is skipping down to the 5 and dime and putting my hard-earned allowance quarter on the counter and getting my usual, the chocolate soda. Not a milkshake. You all know the difference back then. And so go 10 years later, and I'm a working wife with a young baby and a cheating husband. But that is another story. Best not repeated. And anyway, I got back into the church. I joined a choir called the Gospel Singers. I love gospel. I just feel like it goes straight from my heart, to God. And Mike and I have Southern roots, so gospel and bluegrass, you know, love that. But our mother, Venetia, was an incredible vocalist, pianist, actress, and entertainer. And so, of course, she was in the choir. She was first soprano, and I was mezzo. So I actually needed some space, physical space from her. So I switched to altos. The next week, she goes, "I'm feeling a little alto today." So that was the beginning of the end of that. And our family moved out to a small community, and we rented a cottage right on the southern shores of Lake Superior with a virtually endless private beach. And those were wonderful years. And we enrolled Sarah into a Christian based preschool, the Chocolate Children Christian Workshop. And I got to know a lot of the folks from there, a good group of people. And so I started attending services. Wasn't long before I realized that women had no purpose besides making cookies and babies. Absolutely no interaction with leading anything. And of course, like so many evangelists, they can make their own interpretation of any scripture. Yeah, women are to kiss man's butt. Amen. Bye. And so several years later, we moved back to Marquette, and it was just 2 blocks from Messiah Lutheran Church. So it wasn't long before we got involved with that. Just Sarah and I. I thought I was looked at as a single mother because my husband never attended church. And so I ended up directing the Sunday school kids for music time with fun songs like Rise and Shine and with my guitar. And I ended up doing that for 20 years through both of my children. Sean's 13 years younger than Sarah. So it was just a few years between when she was out and I was in with Sean. And that was when my musical career was really going full speed. And so I was a rock and roller at night, and at day I was a domestic diva or goddess, domestic goddess, Roseanne said, and singing in church on Sunday. So that was difficult. The earliest to get home from a gig would be 3 in the morning, up at 9 to go do church. But anyway, it drove me there because of my love for it. So anyway, where was I at Messiah? Um, I was very involved with the music. I very often did solos and sang in the celebration choir and was a guitarist with the church musicians. And I loved doing all that. And I actually was the custodian's apprentice for many years, the junior janitor. And I loved cleaning the sanctuary, the floors, but then polishing the pews. And when I was alone in there, I could just sing at the top of my lungs, which was great. And then when somebody was in there playing the organ or anything else, it was wonderful too. But that ended with COVID. I remember the custodian saying, we've got to close the church. I'm like, but not for Easter, right? He's like, so my job ended there. But I was essentially working as a cashier at a grocery store. And it was not a fun experience. But, oh shoot, where was I going with that? Oh, I know. Just a little joke here. When folks would come through with Tide detergent, I'd ask them if they'd heard the study of why Alaskans only wash their clothes in Tide. Well, it's too cold out Tide. Sorry. Ouch. Yeah, but anyway, I had a lot of different careers and just jobs, and like about 30 years in retail, and I've got a button that says, I no longer fear hell. I've worked retail. Yeah, so that's how that went. Um, well, anyways, my band career was still going on full strength, and I had gotten pretty used to living the sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle, but still the church going girl on a Sunday morning. And as the years have gone by, the sex has faded with my youthful looks, and the rock and roll faded with my voice. But somehow the drugs just pulled on through. And but that's another story, perhaps for another crowd. But anyway, God gives us gifts of talent, and I think it's a sin not to share those talents. Like Gary has a lot of talents to share, so he's really busy. But since I've lost my singing voice, it's been difficult, but I'm thankful for all the years that I did share my talents, and I'm very thankful for that now. And I still sing every morning, but it's just in a much lower key. I like to make up lyrics for different great songs, and I know I'm not going to get sued for copyright from the original amazing artists. So I enjoy doing that, but since I've moved to Utah, I've been feeling an awakening. 1, 2, 3, 4, to life. And I had always hoped to move by my daughter in Ohio when I retired, but for different reasons, that just wasn't meant to be. So that's when I realized Utah this is the place. And I feel like my spiritual journey has brought me here. And I pray every morning. I take my big puppy dog out and thank God for another day in my life, for my wonderful home, for my pretty good health, for my family, friends, my menagerie, and my marijuana. And then when the sun comes out in my face, I thank the Lord for the sun above, his precious love, the birds that sing, and everything. And I know it kind of sounds like a Girl Scout rhyme or something, but I don't think it is. Girl Scout honor. But anyway, yeah, I've been really happy here, 5.5 years, and I hope Mike feels the same way, that we are blessed to be living together in the autumn of our lives, together but separately. And did this mic just go on? No, speaking louder into it. So anyway, I think it's important for us all to hang on to our youthful hearts and our innocence and our souls. So I would like to end with a phrase that I like, short and simple, to the point. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. As together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here to do the reading today, and I hope you enjoy it. This reading is adapted from a piece by Reverend Rachel Dilling, and it's called Higher, Deeper Love. Love is so much bigger than what most of us were taught. Love is presence, courage, the willingness to stay awake to ourselves, to each other, life itself, even when life gets complicated and uncomfortable. Real love shows up when life gets difficult. Love is the breath we take before we react in anger, the compassion we offer ourselves when we fall short. Love is really listening to someone we disagree with instead of rushing to prove them wrong. People are hungry for deeper connection. They're tired of division, of feeling alone. Beneath much of the anger and fear is a longing to belong, to be seen, and to remember that we were never separate from each other in the first place. Our individual healing and our collective healing are the same work. The willingness to look at our own unconscious beliefs, our own feelings of separation, in order to meet the world with compassion instead of judgment. Every interaction matters. Every small kindness matters. Every moment we choose patience over unkind words, understanding over judgment, we become part of the collective healing of humanity. We heal the world through practicing authentic presence, accountability, and compassion by recognizing that underneath all our differences, there's still one shared longing: to love and be loved. That's what higher, deeper love really means. Not escaping the human experience, but stepping into it more fully. Eyes and heart wide open. Not waiting for the world to become loving, but being the person who practices love now. The world we're longing for isn't built someday in the future. It's being built through the consciousness we bring to this moment, right now, today. So as we move into the sacred silence, I invite you to reflect on how you can practice love, especially when it feels hardest to do so. So breathing into that sacred presence, being right here, right now. I am so grateful for all the good. The life outside me, the life inside me. It's all one with the people I share it with, for we are all one. With our souls, the one soul, the one life, that one creative being that made it all. The birds that sing us up in the morning, and the beautiful sunsets that lull us to sleep in the long night. That presence is everywhere, all around, within, constantly creating more good, more love, because the law of perfect harmony comes from love. That creative love that made us, makes us creative, and sees creativity in the smile of each person we meet if we come from that inner perspective. And don't just look at appearances, but see the truth within that person's soul expressing creatively. And we have the joy of sharing that with them. That's why I love to come to the center and admire all the people that make it happen, bring us together to celebrate life, to know how important it is, despite the hard times. And that hard part makes us feel even much more joy when the happy parts come. We are in duality, but we get to celebrate it in unification with the love that made it. And I am grateful for that, as I know each one of us here blesses this service and the world with peace, harmony, and deep presence that is love. And so it is.
But I decided to do this one now. Because we are becoming, is this on harmony? Is there a chance to boost the, I'm going to move this right here. 1, 2. Thank you, sir. We are entering an era of a new world. I know it seems like chaos. That's just kind of a precursor to all things resolving and finding peace. Peace always follows the chaos. Here we stand at the crossroads of life. Time to decide should we turn left or turn right now. Everything. Here we stand at the crossroads of life. Time to decide should we turn left or turn right. In this world of change, I'm guessing things will never ever be the same. A new season coming into view, a new scene starting you and you, a new canvas on which to do anything, anything. I'm talking about a new world, one we dream could be, reaching out, embracing you and me. People desire to set their souls free in a new world, a new world. The walls between us begin to calm down, raising up a joyful sound as people find a common ground, a revolution that will not be put down. Reaping to the void a handful of faith, a new beginning for the whole human race. Imagine what's possible in this place. I say anything, anything. I'm talking about a new world, one we dream to be, reaching out, embracing you and me. People desire to set their souls free in a new world, a new world. There's a new world on the horizon if we just open our eyes. There's a new life waiting for the living. Hope lots of rise. could be reaching out, embracing you and me, child. A new world, hey, yeah, yeah, new world, one we dream to be. Reaching out, embracing you and me. People desire to set it so sweet. In a new world, a new world, a new world, a new world. In a new world, a new world. Here we stand at the crossroads of life. It's a new world.
Well, he's the man of the hour, always. What a blessing. Thank you always. So the last little while, I've been hearing about this why. What is your why? My husband gave a lecture at work the other day, and it was about what their why is as an organization. And then I go out for dinner with someone, they say, what is your why? And then I go out for dinner with that same couple again, and the husband asked me, what is your why? And I said, I've already told you my why. My why hasn't changed. So I've been hearing this conversation so much that I thought, I better talk about what is your why? What is your why? And so I would encourage you today, as I'm giving this sermon, to see and to ask, what is your North Star? I prefer that so much more than the why. The why seems so big. But what follows, what do you follow in your life? And our faith is one of individualized expression of the one. We celebrate all people, all lives, all faiths. We worship and love the God of many faces, the God of many colors, the God of many expressions, that there's just this way that works for you. And so I encourage you today as you listen to see what is your whole, complete, and perfectness of your being in this incarnation. So everyone has a voice to express who they are. And I just want us to focus on that today. So why is asking someone their why such a contemporary conversation today? And it goes beyond what they do, where they live, their pedigree, their zip code, their color, their sexual orientation. It goes on a lot bigger than that. It invites us to connect to our purpose, our passion, our drive, our raison d'etre, our essence. It is the question of the day. And when people know their why, they experience more clarity, more purpose. They have a place to land when life sometimes becomes challenging. So the question became very popular in a corporate environment by a gentleman by the name of Simon Sinek. And he wrote a book called The Golden Circle. And according to him, what promoted cooperation, trust, success in an organization was when people knew what their what was. What do you do? How do you do it differently? And why do you do it? What is the purpose, belief, or cause that inspires you? And so the why is the reason that people get up every morning. It's not about making money. It's not about planning the next wonderful event. It's about what gets you up and drives you in the day. So the purpose is what gives your work meaning, the motivation, what keeps you going through challenges, the values, what principles guide your decisions, authenticity, what are the actions that bring that truth for you, and inspiration, can you inspire others? So I gave a sermon a week or so ago on Zen Buddhism and science of mind, and I was just in Japan. I love Buddhism very much. I think my DNA sometimes is Buddhist and I function as a religious scientist. But what Buddhism and that spiritual practice gives me is a pause to reflect upon this. So I have a moment between a thought, a presence, and the thought. And when that happens and extends throughout my day, every moment, I feel that presence of that one. And that one is what gives me purpose and drive. So there was a very famous philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, not many people quote, but I still like him. And he says, he or she who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. A person that has a why to live for can bear almost any how. So we ask, what inspires people? What do you value deeply? What gives you that sense of fulfillment? How do you make decisions? And what contribution can you make in this world? And this is why when we find our joy, when we find our talents, our excellence in life, our job is not only to find it, but to give it away. And sometimes it takes us many incarnations to find this passion in your life. But when we find that talent and give it away, I feel there's a deep base, deep grounding in one's life. So from a new thought perspective and science of mind, when we ask the why, for us, it's about a spiritual inquiry into who we are. It encourages us to look beyond outer activity and discover that inner impulse of spirit expressing through us, as us, and it is us. So Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, taught that each individual is an expression of that one life. And your why may be a particular way of life that is expressing through you as creativity, as healing, as connection, as inspiration, as wisdom, or even service. So I ask myself every morning when I sit, God, how do you want to express yourself through me? When I go in a situation that is challenging, I ask God, give me one impetus, one quality, one aspect of your divinity to guide me in that conversation, whether it's love, whether it's compassion, whether it's peace, whether it's intelligence, whether it's wisdom, whether it's wholeness. But I'm always in conversation every day with that life. And every day it changes. Sometimes my meditation changes, whether it's walking, whether it's sitting in silence, listening to music, reading a passage, sitting in that presence. But our job is to have this flexibility, this vulnerability when we ask that question. So in leadership, in our lives, in ministry, in how we serve, in community building, knowing your why creates authenticity. And people become attracted to what you do because you inspire them to do it well. A clear why helps others understand your heart and your vision. And we sense that with people's vibration. Sometimes they don't even talk, and we feel an energy. We feel a vibration with our family, with our friends, with our neighbors. We feel something because there's something else always brewing within us. And that is that one life always expressing its life through us. So, for example, your role as a community leader in the Wasatch Spiritual Center. For me, it's not about organizing events or speaking Sunday or teaching or that, but it's about supporting people. So I came up, what is my why? My why is to create a loving community, a kind community, where people discover their spiritual essence, their magnificence, healing limited beliefs of who one is, and awaken to the truth that you are whole, complete, and perfect just the way you are, and connecting that to something else. So I know people are experiencing a lot. I have a family member that's going through deep challenges right now. It could bring me to my knees. And I know many people are experiencing loss or grief or a misdiagnosis, a diagnosis, loss of love, loss of a child. And I want you to know that here at the Wasatch Spiritual Center, we are here for you. We now because of our lovely Donna, our board president, we have business cards. We have my number on it, that you are welcome to call me when you experience a dark night of the soul, or when something is so conflicted within you that you can't see out of it. We all support one another. We all give to one another. We all love on one another. And this is really the essence of my ministry here at Wasatch. So the why becomes the compass that guides our journey. And what is the science of mind understanding of the why? So in science of mind, the question of why is not about personal ambition or motivation. It's really about discovering the spiritual purpose of your individualized expression of that one life. So Ernest Holmes taught us there's one life, one power, one presence, expressing through all creation, and that everyone is an expression of that. It's the reason why spirit expressed itself through you. So we understand this in many ways. The first one is your why is to express more of life, right? We never get to a plateau and then say, oh, here we go. I think if science of minders, if religious scientists were a zodiac sign, we would be the Capricorn. And I love zodiac, I love numerology, I love all the different modalities of life because we work hard, we're intelligent, we read, we study, we reflect, we do the work, and then we get to a plateau. Then we relax, we look around, oh, a mountain lion's coming up the hill. Then we scamper up, and then we pause when we get there. But we're always growing, always evolving. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, talked about the spiritual spiral dynamics of life. That we're always creating, always growing, always enriching who we are. Holmes wrote that life is forever seeking a greater expression through you. Your why is connected to that unique ability that spirit expresses through you as wisdom, as creativity, as connection, as insight. So the question becomes, how is life expressing itself through me now? Second, your why is rooted in your gifts. What contribution makes me feel alive? I have many passions, reading, writing, speaking, knitting. And when I do, time flies. When I do, I'm energized. When I do, I'm connected to Source. So what are your gifts that God has bestowed upon you? We teach that everyone is embodied with something. And the deepest fulfillment in life is giving those away. So rather than asking, what can I get? The question is, what can I give to humanity to make me feel whole and complete? Third is the connection to serve, to uplift, to inspire. How can I be an instrument for healing, for awakening, for love? You know, this morning, the Diksha gift givers was so empowering. It so transformed me. We have it the last Sunday of the month, 9:15. But the essence, I was a little chilly in it too, and I felt so enlivened after it. I felt so hot. My head was twirling like a baton. I felt so something else in me because of that experience. So what a gift to allow our community to feel that connection. So we ask here that Ernest Holmes said, the highest use of spiritual power is not personal gain, but contributing to the greater good, to the greater whole. Your why, number 4, evolves. Science of mind likes seeing life as an outgoing unfoldment. Your why at 20 may look very differently than your why at 70, as wonderful Marie shared today, how the changes of her why has changed in her life. So the underlying spiritual impulses remain, but things grow and expand in that way. And your why is ultimately about love. It teaches that God is love, the agape-ness of givingness, and why we are truly expressions of love. So wherever your purpose takes you, it's an avenue to be love in the visible world. So the science of mind inquiry into your why might be expressed as, My why is to love, to serve, to help people remember who they are. And our perspective for us is about the divine seeking to express through you your unique life. Ernest Holmes says that we are bound together by a greater power than we are, and your life becomes an expression of that truth. So how do we do that here at the Wasatch Spiritual Center? We create belonging. Ernest Holmes says, you have discovered the spiritual universe. Many others have discovered this same world, but each makes the discovery of themselves. You are going to have a lot of joy sailing around this world of yours. Fight the opinions of others to create a beautiful expression for that within you. So many people come to our spiritual centers for healing, for connection. And our purpose is to help, to uplift, and to guide, and to release pain and suffering to joy and love of who one is. Here we awaken possibility. Ernest Holmes says that the universal mind contains all knowledge. It is the potential ultimate of all things, and all things are possible. So we believe that you're not limited by your past, that what you were yesterday is not who you are today, that you are whole, complete, and perfect just the way you are as you show up, that any ism or addiction or whatever what was isn't your truth today. I had a beautiful minister in the Napa Valley who always said, you're just one thought away to your good. You're just one thought away of pivoting to your greater truth. So for us, he says here, the universal mind contains all knowledge. It is that potential. It is all things possible. For us, we believe in building a community. Ernest Holmes says the science of mind is intensely practical because it teaches us how to use the mind principle for purpose, for awareness. So our spiritual center is more than a Sunday gathering. It's a network of people that celebrate, heal, learn, and serve and grow together. We believe in living love in action. A constant realization of this presence of spirit, Ernest Holmes says, provides a sense of divine companionship that no other attitude could produce. So love becomes a feeling. We had a wonderful celebration yesterday at our house, and it was so beautiful to connect. I felt such a sangha, such a joy in that connection. So for us, it's living love in action. And lastly, it's about empowering others, to hold people up to their greater truth, to help, to guide, to serve, to uplift in this way. Ernest Holmes says, lastly, that the greatest good that can come to anyone is forming within an absolute certainty of oneself and their relationship to the universe, forever removing the sense of heaven being outside of oneself. So here at the Wasatch Spiritual Center, rather than being the source of all the answers, we help people uncover one's own wisdom and gifts, because I know that everyone is tapped into source. It is one's divine birthright. So here we say that the purpose aligns closely with our science of mind principle, that we are called to create a vibrant and welcoming spiritual community where people experience unconditional love, discover their authentic selves, and awaken to infinite possibilities within. Through compassion, through creativity, through connection, we help build where everyone can feel this power and presence within. So an affirmation in our ministry can be like this. And I'm going to actually close with this prayer right now. And if you care to close your eyes and just affirm in this essence that there is one life, one love, one infinite presence expressing through all. And that I know the Wasatch Spiritual Center is a beacon of hope, belonging, and transformation. And that I am guided by wisdom, energized by joy, inspired by a vision of a thriving community where everyone feels welcome, safe, and grows into this truth of who they are. I and we serve not from obligation, but from love. And we trust the divine unfoldment through every conversation, every act of kindness, and every gathering. And together we are creating a community where hearts are opened, where lives are changed, and spirit is possible and made visible. So I just know in this essence of the one that we celebrate and gather in that calling, that this presence is one of infinite compassion, of unbounded, unrestricted creativity, creating the stars in the sky to our beautiful little furry friends, that it creates all of it, and that there's only one life expressing through it all. It is abundant, it is good, it is loving. And I know for me, as it expresses through me, as Reverend Lanna, it expresses through everyone. That everyone is birthed from that source, that everyone returns to that source, that our chi, our pran, our atman, whatever we decide to call it, is that gift from the heavens. So we know that we're not part of it, we're not connected to it. We are God expressing as God here in Salt Lake City, Utah. That one life gives us our thoughts, our creativity, our life, our abundance, our joy. And as we trust and move in this knowing with these spiritual laws, from the law of attraction to the law of compensation, the law of connection, of unity, of abundance, as we know that one life gives us everything we need to sustain who we are blessed in this wholeness. And that presence leads our lives with joy, with love, with creativity, that one life sustains and gives us everything. So I realize in this moment that the center is thriving, that people are feeling connected and whole and uplifted, abundant and joyful. And just move in the world as that essence. Doesn't mean we don't have boundaries. It doesn't mean we don't speak up when something doesn't feel right. But we return to that essence and that presence that gives us our voice, our truth, and our lives. So I'm thankful I know this. I'm thankful I come here to be reminded of it. I'm thankful for that one presence, knowing that it gives me all that I need. And as I place this prayer into the law, we call it the servant of God, the machine of spirit. It simply delivers the highest and best. So we know this is the truth. We know this is how spiritual laws work, that we impress upon consciousness, in consciousness, to see the form take place. And we hold steadfast that vision, we hold steadfast that understanding until we see it take form. And that is the work we do as spiritual seekers. And so I am grateful for this moment, grateful for being at the Other Side Village, grateful for our Diksha givers, our board, everyone here, for Brian, for Gary, for Natalie, for Keith, who set this place up for us. Just grateful for all the good that exists right here and right now. And together, with one heartbeat, we simply say, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you. So this is the time of our announcements and our giving. So we have a QR code here, and I think it appears up here as well. And this is the time that I say a joke. I have to preface it because I'm not a good joke teller. But why was the church service worth $1? As a man and his family drove after church, he was complaining to his children. He said the music was so loud, the sermon was so long, the announcements were so unclear, the building was so hot, and the people were so unfriendly. He went on and on, complaining about virtually everything that he experienced. Finally, his observant daughter said, "Well, Dad, you got to admit that wasn't a bad show for $1. So, yes, and I always mess up a joke, so anyways. So thank you, everybody, for coming yesterday to our membership barbecue. We have membership forms in the back just to really build up our connections reaching out to the world. So if you feel comfortable, please take one. We have meditations now every Sunday at 9:30 to about 9:50 here in the classroom. And the last Sunday of the month, we have the Diksha blessing, and that is at 9:15, so please tell your friends for that. We are going to have a town hall meeting, which is every second Sunday, so please bring a dish to share, and it's just a way that we can connect with one another, that we can hear from one another what's going on, what you would like to experience. And then we have a big concert coming at the lovely Carol Harris's event center, AKA her home. But her home is so beautiful right in Mill Creek. And she's been kind enough to host a beautiful concert with Bob Sema. And he lives in, I think, Florida, but he's traveling around the country. He's a really incredible New Thought musician. So he is going to be at her house. There's flyers in the back. So there's a sign-up list, there's a prayer box. Please let us know how we can be of service. We also stay after service, Jim and I, if you need any additional prayer or there's anything on your heart that you would like remedies for or whatever we can do. But we're really building a community of love, of kindness, of helpfulness, of connection. So I'm so grateful that you're all here, so grateful to share this message with you. So thank you so much and wish everyone a beautiful day. Gary, take it away.
Of course you join me on this tune. This is Love Be With You, because we want to make sure, until next time we meet again, that love travels with you. Love be with you, peace enfold you, truth will through you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What? Truth come through you, nice. There we go, till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, we see the light and take our standing. We are changing. A whole new life for you and me. We kick your past and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, and spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. Peace enfold you, and spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you, make it flow to you. Let joy renew you. You'll be again. And love be with you. Ooh, 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 love be with you. Love be with you.